What's happening, people, and welcome back to the final recap of this week of Love Island. And we're going to recap the episode that was last night, that was shown at 9 p.m. And you're joined by myself, Emma Rose, and I'm with
Guns, Carlos, whatever you want to call me. Like, go by anything these days.
Yeah.
Like, literally. But yeah, you've missed me this week. Normally I'm all over this, but like it's been a while, so I'm excited to be back. Like you were saying, in the hot seat.
In the hot seat.
Yes. So let's think what we're gonna start with. Let's start with new beginnings, right? So obviously Janae and Liana yesterday were talking about obviously Brad left, Lucinda stayed.
I wasn't that surprised about that. Let's talk about that. Even though it was recap yesterday, personally, that did not really surprise me at all because Brad seemed so keen on Lucinda. And I reckon if it was Lucinda that was leaving, Brad would have left with her.
Yeah, I knew it was either going to be they both leave or Lucinda leave. Or Brad leave. I knew Lucinda was not going to go on her own. Like,
I'm kind of glad that she stayed though.
Yeah, I would. No offense, Brad, but you kind of annoyed me too many times.
Same. Like, it was your time in the villa was over. So, but I'm excited to see who Lucinda cracks on with. It looks like she's going to crack on with Aaron though.
It is funny though, isn't it? Like literally, like the day before, even when he was leaving, like I know, like we shouldn't critique one's emotions and that. Like you shouldn't say, "Oh, why aren't you crying?" and that. But it was just so blatantly obvious that she just wasn't that. And then literally one day later. I think I need to like get over and just start getting to know other guys. I think what surprised me actually was, you know how Jake was so like upset Brad was leaving. Yeah. Then he was the one who was like, "Oh yeah, you need to get to know the other guys." Like you think that he would be a bit more like not like don't get to know them, but I wouldn't have expected him to be like, "Come on, like get on it." Like,
but I guess they were never like really in a committed thing, and it was quite new, so. I kind of see why he'd do that. But I don't know. I think for me, if I was Aaron, I'd probably be a bit like, I'd have like so much pride. I'd probably be like, yeah, no, I'm not speaking to you because like you went for Brad first.
That is very true, actually. Yeah, like remember when Aaron broke up with Sharon, and then basically he said it was because of the way she acted towards Hugo, but realistically, 2 new girls had entered, and he was like, "Okay, I'm done with Sharon. I need to like move on." And then none of them were interested in him, so literally we cut back to shots of him in bed with Sharon, like literally cuddling and that, and like. To be fair, he said, "Oh yeah, I think Sharon still like has feelings, which is why he chose Kaz in the recoupling." But still, like I don't know, like I feel like he like guys have this thing where they kind of try to like justify their actions by saying like, "Yeah, but." This, or like, you know, when they actively encourage each other, like, "Oh yeah, but you're not feeling it. You need to do this." Or
they just want drama. And this is what I've been saying for like, I think I might have said it on the last one as well. The boys are the cause of drama. They don't seem like it. They seem pretty chill, but they're encouraging each other to be bad. Even, I'm pretty sure they were even like encouraging Jake a little bit at the start with the whole Liberty thing. Like, "Oh, you got to do what you got to do, mate. Like, find out whatever girl you want. You know, you got to try. You got to go shop out there. Try before you buy some, whatever.
You're here for you. Like, you're here to find love. Like,
and I really feel like that's an honest, true reflection of like what guys are like in real life.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's quite similar to gaslighting. It's sort of like you're kind of flipping the script, especially because mental health has become such like a prominent talking point. It's kind of like guys especially tend to justify doing things for themselves as like advocating for their own mental health, when in reality they just kind of give themselves an excuse to act how they want to act without like thinking about other people's feelings.
Exactly. Like, and a lot of guys as well. And I guess like what's good about in the villa, like they have been honest about it, but it's also a reflection of like real life. Like guys are like, "Oh, I'm going to be bad. But as long as I'm honest about it, that means I haven't done anything wrong." It's like, no, you're doing something wrong and you're being honest about it, but it still is bad. Yeah. So like they're just, but then I don't like the way they're moving, but it is a reflection of guys in real life. So yeah, but it's intensified because they're all like piled into like one villa.
So the reason that I said that was because Aaron like, I get what he's saying about like, oh, I chose Kaz because I didn't want to give mixed signals to Sharon. But it's kind of like, if you weren't going to give mixed signals, why are you still cuddling her in bed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's very clear that you were utilizing her as an option until you got to the stage where you were in power. And now you're in power. You've thought, right, okay, I'm just going to go for Kaz because that's like a safe option. It's very obvious that she's like liked by the public. And yeah, so
Carlos spitting facts. That's what I can say.
Yeah,
big facts.
Aaron, I'm on to you, but like in terms of Lucinda, I don't know. Like, I mean, I think they do have a bit of a connection, like in terms of that. But like, I think it would be purely like flirtatious rather than actual relationship. Because at the end of the day, I don't know. I just feel like he is a bit too, I don't want to say mature because I don't think he is mature, but a bit too, he's on a different level than her in terms of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's just like an aesthetic, like sexual attraction there. Because even Lucinda was like, yeah, well, I don't really fancy anyone else in the villa. So it's like, oh, so Aaron's like the second option or something. I feel like if there's a really good looking guy that walks through who she like gets on with, I think her head could be turned really easily. And I kind of like Lucinda. I feel like she's really playing them at their own game. And that's what these boys need. They need to be played. They need to be put in their place. They need to be sat right down, because I feel like they've all got like too brave. And for some reason, I feel like how Love Island's like structured it this year has always been in the boys' favor. Like it seems whatever's happened, even when they've brought in like new boys into the villa, it's always worked in the boys' favor. Like no boy has ever really been like getting upset or like running after a girl. So I feel like it's time for Love Island to like put in loads of boys and really get the boys worried and like running after the girls. That's what I want to see.
So true. Like I'm just thinking about it now, and it's like it's never been
in the girls' favor. So Love Island, sort your shit out. Make sure you bring in some fit boys for the girls to make the other guys worried and actually work hard, because like they have been unfortunately like in control for most of it, I feel.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Obviously, Lucinda, we rate more than most of the guys in there.
100.
But can we just talk about the way that she speaks, please? Like, really?
It's like so jarring. I feel like when those three girls are together, when it's Chloe, Lucinda, and Millie, like they're all like, really? No way.
Millie isn't that bad, to be fair. But it's mainly Chloe and Lucinda.
It's just like, I find it grating. I don't know how the guys like who are like trying to graft them don't find it a little bit grating, but it's almost like they're putting it on to be like, because they don't really speak like that. Like, they do a little bit, but like not as much, that it's like amplified around the guys. But yeah, I don't know why that is. Like, I don't get it. But
yeah, I don't get what the thought process is behind it, because like I don't get why you would think that is attractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like really, it's just like I don't know.
It's sort of, I mean, I can get the thought process behind it, because it's kind of like, you know, like girl, like twiddling their hair, like, really? You think that?
Like making it seem like, maybe they think it's more like alluring, or like more like a way to seduce them. I don't know. I guess it's like, if you're like extending your words, like really, like you kind of, like maybe they think that it sounds like more engaged and more interested, but it is just like really annoying. So stop doing it, please, because it's just like, I find that shit grating. But
yeah, agreed. But I don't know. I can't. I just don't get it. Why do you do it?
Yeah, stop, please. I beg you.
Moving on to other couples, like, well, actually, first, I just want to say I actually rate Liam for when he took the piss out of Lucinda.
He was like, really? I was like, no way. Is this the first time someone's actually like clocked on and done that in the villa?
Yeah, and he's actually like actual funny, like, you know what I mean? Like, the guys just haven't been given it like this. And that was the first time I was actually, you know what, that was actually kind of like jokes, like,
I feel like Love Island like need to include like some of the more banter that they have, because clearly they have got banter. It's just they seem to be including just like the coupley bits, and like I get it, it's Love Island, but if they put in more like banter and more jokes that they're all having, would feel like we'd find it way more interesting. Like in some of like the unseen bits, like on previous ones, it was like a video of like the boys twerking and stuff, like not on this year's, but on like, I think it was last year's. And it's just like, why do you not include that in like the main one? It makes it more engaging and exciting, because sometimes this like couple chats can just be really boring. It's like, we've heard this all before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't get it. Editors, sort
it out.
But moving on to other couples, obviously there's a new girl in the villa, AJ, and she's seemed to be having the chats with people. At first, it seemed like she was maybe a bit going for Teddy. A bit.
Can I just say how Faye swooped on in there and was just like, I'm gonna befriend this girl so she doesn't go for Teddy. And I'm just like, we see you, the boys see you. I feel like she knows she's being bait, but she doesn't really care.
I've seen so many tweets where they're just like, Faye's just kind of like living in her own little world, like in Love Island, like her own like separate like reality. And it's just like, you know, like when all the girls were like watching like the dates or something, and she was sat there like filing her nails. Like,
yeah, literally. She does not care. Faye has really grown on me. Like at the start, I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about her, but like she's really grown on me. Like I feel like she doesn't really give a shit, and she's just like, oh, whatever. And then even with Teddy, she's like, oh, he hasn't like really passed a screening test yet. Yeah. So I think she's like quite good at like protecting herself, but I don't think she's had like that much luck.
Yeah,
so far.
Definitely.
But what do you think of Faye? Because I quite like her.
I don't know. I keep on going back and forth. I think. Do you remember like Liv from season 3, who was with Chris? You know,
I don't think that's a season that I didn't watch.
No, like, she was basically a very similar character, very loud, like says what they think, opinionated, etc. Sometimes too much, and sometimes gets in like moods that like that are kind of like it goes onto other people sort of thing. But like then at the same time, some that can be like not very nice to watch, but then on the other hand, it sometimes can be like very entertaining. I feel like that
she brings the
same
drama
sort of
sometimes.
Thing.
When she's like started shouting at Chloe, that made me laugh, because it's kind of like she kind of does the stuff that you want to do, but you stop yourself from doing because of like society and like the norms and stuff and like what is appropriate. But she kind of just like does it, which makes it entertaining and kind of like, oh, fair enough.
I personally don't know as to whether her and Teddy will last, just because I feel like, well, this is based on what we're seeing in terms of the editing, but it just doesn't seem to be, they don't seem to have that much connection. Like, I mean, like it's there, like but like I've never seen Teddy like talking to her and found himself like, he doesn't seem like captivated by her, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like I mean, I know it's only been a few days, but still, I feel like if AJ was to go for Teddy and put in more, I feel like his head could be turned potentially. But at the moment, it seems more like AJ is going for Hugo, which is interesting because we were just talking about this before, and you were saying you don't think that's going to be like an end game.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think this is what all the new girls who come in always pick Hugo. I don't know if it's like they actually are picking him because they genuinely like him, or it's like the producers telling them to, because they always say the same thing. They're like, oh, I can't believe Hugo's single. He's so nice. He's so sweet. He's so good looking. We get on really well. And then they always go for someone else. So I feel like it's the same script every time. Like the girls say literally exactly the same thing. They say that he like is really chill, doesn't lay it on thick. And I think that's probably like his downfall, because you kind of got to lay it on a little bit thick to like,
he doesn't like make that move. Like even last night when they were speaking on the terrace, it was very obvious that like they were both flirting with each other. But then he could have, even if he wasn't gonna kiss her, he could have like maybe got like a little bit closer or something like that.
You know what it is? He's just got no game. He's got no game. Like, yeah, he might do. Like, I find his flirting quite cringe. And like, I think if he had like a better flirting game, if he had a better chat up game, then I think he'd probably have a partner, or like a partner in the villa. But because he's just like a bit awkward and a bit kind of like Dr. Alex vibes, it just doesn't. It like for girls, like it doesn't really matter like the girls don't really care about looks generally. They care about the personality. Like if you're like average looking and you've got like good game, good chat, like girls are going to pick you over like someone who's good looking with no chat. Like it's all about chat for girls and like someone with good personality. Like generally, like out of me and like all my friends, it's someone who's got like good chat, good personality, good game, someone who's like a bit flirtatious. And I just feel like he just doesn't have that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he has the personality in that.
Yeah.
I think it's just it doesn't come across. And I think you're right in terms of it's the way that he's going about it.
Yeah.
Like the type of question he's asking, like to be fair to him, like bless him, like he is like definitely like he's asking about the girls, which is obviously really nice, and it's showing that he wants to know about them, he wants to hear it, but then he's not building on that, you know what I mean? Like you kind of have to take that and kind of like be a bit like flirty in terms of how you respond to it. Like I don't know, like I do feel bad because I know his intentions are so like good, and he's like, people are saying that he's not bad looking by any means. In fact, I think if anything, he's got better looking, like as the season,
definitely.
like the way his hair is now. Like last night when he was talking to AJ, like we were saying as we were watching, like he was looking like really nice.
Yeah, but it's just like lack of game. Like if you've got no chat, then no game, like no gain.
So is that the reason why you think that them two aren't gonna work?
I just find his flirting pretty cringe, and I feel she even was like, oh yeah, like he's not really like giving me much, and I think that's the problem. And like other boys are gonna like give her more and like make her feel like wanted. I feel, you know what, I feel like Teddy's gonna ditch Faye, and Teddy and AJ are gonna get together.
And then it'll be a choice of whether Hugo gets with Faye or Sharon. That would be interesting. I mean, I feel like Hugo to go for Sharon if he's sticking to his word, which brings us on to the next thing. Actually, Hugo full on friend zoning Sharon, which was very interesting to watch.
I don't feel like Sharon was sincere. Like, I just don't think it's genuine. Like everyone was like, oh yeah, she really likes Hugo. It's like, no, I just feel like there's no one else in there, and she's like, oh, I want to stay in Love Island, so like she's kind of just making an effort with him. I don't think she genuinely likes him.
I think the thing with Sharon is I am rooting for her. I think because I feel bad that she hasn't really had any opportunity or like had like a proper like kind of relationship other than Aaron, which obviously didn't turn out. And like that's the thing, that I feel like that wasn't her fault. I think that was, obviously people are entitled to find whoever they find attractive, whatever, but I feel like that was due to his own insecurities at her being very like forward thinking, you know, and being like very much like potentially wearing the pants in the relationship sort of thing, and he got intimidated by that, which isn't her fault. And for that reason, whilst she's done some questionable things, like in terms of the whole argument about the cosmetics and that, I still am rooting for her in that sense. And I think that's why when she started grafting Hugo, and I say grafting, I was kind of like, oh, maybe this could like happen, just because there's this little bit inside of me that is still like rooting for her. But I do agree with you in terms of, I think like, I don't think it's there. And I don't know. I found it weird yesterday how she was saying like, oh, like you just friend zoned me straight away. But it's kind of like, is that literally not what happened at the very start?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think he knows it's not genuine. That's why he's like shutting it down. Like he knows that, and I think he knows like he's not going to shut off his options. He's not going to go for Sharon when another guy can just walk through the door and she's probably going to ditch him. So fair enough to Hugo. I think he's like aware. So yeah, it makes sense. And I think he should find someone new. Like, I don't think he should go with any of the OGs.
I think personally, if he makes it that far, Hugo's person will come in and cast her more.
Defo.
Because if you think about guys this was happening to before, like I think the person, did you watch the winter one?
Oh, I can't. Oh yeah.
Do you remember Naz?
Yeah,
like he was in a similar sort of situation, and then right before Castor and Moore, they brought in Demi, and she was like, I don't think she was being fake, by the way, but she was like full on like into Naz, and they got together. But I feel like they got together because Naz was just so happy that there was someone who was actually
like
for him.
So
I feel like that could happen this time with AJ, and then Casa Amor happens, and then Hugo goes there and actually finds someone who he actually gets along with.
I think so, and
then comes back. Like,
definitely,
I predict that would happen.
Definitely. And so Kaz got the text about the date, which was really exciting. I kind of think, like, I saw a glimpse of this guy at the end, and obviously we've gone on the Love Island like Instagram page and had a little look. I feel like it could go one or two ways. I feel like he's a really good looking guy, but I'm not entirely sure if he's Kaz's type. But then we could be surprised. Maybe she needs to like go for something that's not her usual type. But I don't know what her usual type is, to be honest.
If I'm being honest, like, we're basing this purely on like appearances.
Yeah, that's true.
Looking at Danny, he kind of looks like he'll be part of like N-Dubs or something. You know what I mean? Like, just like this tall like white guy with like tattoos and like a like buzz cut type thing.
Yeah,
like, and that's why I'm just kind of like, is this Kaz's time? Like,
not too sure.
Yeah, but again, this is us purely basing on appearance. If it's like you're saying, if his chat is there, if the connection could still be there, then
I just want a man for Kaz. I'm sick of all of these guys not appreciating this beautiful woman. Like, yeah, they should be fighting over her, in my opinion. But
yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Literally.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's Love Island recap. This is, or not this week, the last one of this week. Week 3 already. I think there's 8 weeks in total, so we're nearly halfway.
I think we're halfway, pretty much. Yeah. So it's exciting.
Hopefully we get Casa Amor soon.
We need it to shake it up. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, make sure that you're following Pi Radio on all socials at Pi Radio UK. Also, subscribe to us right now. Like, I've never done that before. Click
in the link below.
Yeah, because obviously we're putting these recaps out basically every weekday, and also weekly rundowns on Sundays, so that you don't need to catch up. Like, literally on the first one, someone commented saying, "Oh, you saved me 5 hours of watching." I was like, that's the aim.
That's the aim, pretty much.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in.
Thank
you. Will see you next week.
We'll see you next week, and we'll be back for a lot more. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned.